The LMS Class 5, universally known as the Black 5, was introduced by William Stanier in 1934. Designed to be a mixed-traffic locomotive, these do-anything, go-anywhere locomotives were often favored among drivers. Stanier had previously been working with the GWR before his early days in the LMS. When designing his Stanier Mogul 260, he experimented with the GWR school of thought. However, several of the details in this design he would never use again. He realized the superiority of details not used on the GWR as well as the need for larger locomotives. These larger locomotives were the LMS version of the GWR hulls. Though similar in design, they were not exact copies, as the hulls were too wide to run on most of the lines in Britain. These designs did, however, share similar cylinder arrangements, internal boiler design, and the 6-foot driving wheel diameters. In their early days, the locomotives were known as the Black Staniers, due to their black livery, which was used in contrast to the LMS Stanier Jubilee, which were painted crimson. The nickname Black 5 came about after the 5P5F on the cabsides of the engine was changed to merely show a solitary figure 5. There were a number of detail variations in the locomotives through the years, many not remaining in the same condition as built. Some locomotives were built under British Rail were used as test beds for various design modifications such as outside Caprotti valve gears, roller bearings on the coupled and tender axles in varying combinations, and an experimental steel firebox. Other locomotives were fitted with modified draughting to self-clean the smoke box. The first engines to be built in 1934 were fitted with domeless boilers with straight throat plates and a low degree of superheat. After some time, the boilers were increased from 14 superheat elements to 21, and the boilers varied between domeless and domed. Finding the need for spare boilers, the early engines were modified to accept sloping throat plate boilers. With the ability for boilers to be switched between engines, new Black 5s were fitted with sloped throat plate frames, the domeless version of the locomotive becoming a thing of the past. Only 5 Black 5s received names during their mainline working lives, with 7 more having been named in preservation. These original 5 named were after Scottish regiments. The named engines are as follows. Number 45154, Lanarkshire Yeomanry. Number 45155, the Queen's Edinburgh. Number 45156, Ayrshire Yeomanry. Number 45157, the Glasgow Highlander, and number 45158, Glasgow Yeomanry. Out of these 5, there have been debate over number 45155 having ever been truly named. She was given the name for only 2 years during World War II, and there is no photographic evidence of the naming. However, there is evidence set out in full in various sources. Of the 18 locomotives in preservation, 11 have seen mainline service. These engines are as follows: number 44767, number 44871, number 44932, number 45000, number 45025, number 45110, number 45231, number 45305, number 45337, number 45407, and number 45428. Number 44767, known also as George Stephenson due to it being the only member of the class equipped with the Stephenson valve gear, operates on the North Norfolk Railway. Number 44871, formerly known as Sovereign, operates on the East Lancashire Railway. Number 44932 operates on the West Coast Railway. Number 45000 has been taken off mainline service and sits at the Shildon Locomotive Museum in her LMS livery as part of the National Collection. Another in the LMS livery, number 45025, operates at the Strathspey Railway. At the Severn Valley Railway, number 45110 sits as a static display in the engine house. The Sherwood Forester, number 45231, operates at the West Coast Railway. Number 45305, Alderman A.E. Draper, works at the Great Central Railway, though her boiler ticket is due to expire in 2020. Number 45337 operates at the Llangollen Railway. The East Lancashire Railway plays home to 45407, the Lancashire Fusilier. Finally, number 45428, Eric Tracy, calls the North Yorkshire Moors Railway home. The remaining in preservation, number 44806, Kenneth Aldcroft, previously known as Magpie, works the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. Number 44901 sits at a private site awaiting restoration, as well as number 45163 at the Colne Valley Railway. Number 45212 is undergoing overhaul, number 45293 and 45491 are under restoration, and number 45379 works at the Mid-Hants Railway. In the Railway series by Reverend W. Awdry, there were a few issues with the green engine known as Henry. Apparently, the illustrator made him almost identical to Gordon on more than one account. Wanting Henry to be different, the Reverend had him go into a rebuild after the Flying Kipper accident, where he was remade into a Black 5. In the game, we find the developers once again keeping to immense detail when making the model look like the real thing. Let's head into the cab. Though the colors are off on some of the levers, they probably did that as a way to make it easier to drive. Comparing the whistle of the real deal, it is a little less powerful than what I've been able to find, but all in all it sounds 100% accurate. When it comes to Black 5s and top speed, mixed traffic engines have always been known to peak somewhere in the 80s. While I can't find any documentation of the actual recorded top speed, 83 miles per hour feels perfect for this example of British steel.